welcome to Joanne's Healing Within. I am Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, your certified personal trainer, holistic healer, author, publisher, and owner of Fitness R Us. Today I have an amazing show to share with you, and I'm so excited. However, before we go there, I want to remind you to like and share our show for today because you don't want to miss it and you want your friends to be a part of this as well. And also want to remind you that today we're going to be speaking about what's on your mind. So the phones are going to be open. So feel free to jot down this number, 516-945-9099. And that will be your opportunity to call in and ask a question that you would like clarity on. I'd like to also give a shout out to some of my sponsors, Good Chi Feng Shui, LLC, and Roslyn Salt Cave. I am so excited to also share some insight in regards to our intuitive chakra balance numerology forecast reading with you to set the energy for today. So as usual, I'm going to shuffle up the cards, get the energy flowing. And this reading is for everybody, not just for me, for anyone who's viewing, our audience. Shuffling it one more time, see what we need to hear. With the information we get today, this information is going to give you some insight on your chakras, what needs to be aligned for you, what the numerology energy is, and also a affirmation. So here we go. The card poking up is what we're going to hear today. Let's see what we have going on. Ooh, moderation. Moderation. Now, what comes to me with moderation is let's do everything in moderation. Let's not try to dive into every project that we want to accomplish and put 100% into everything. Give a little bit of 10%, 20%, 30% to each thing you'd like to do, and modify things. So you're not overwhelming yourself and fatiguing yourself and losing track of what your goals are. When we have the green is all about self-healing. It taps into your heart center. So take a moment to ask yourself, what do you need to heal today? What do you need to heal for self-healing? How can that help you so you can live a more mindful, spiritual, emotional life with bliss? Then we have the orange, so it's a creative day. What will you create on this awesome day? Then we have brown. We always get brown. Brown is all about keeping ourselves grounded, because when we are not grounded, we tend to float. We tend to get a little distracted. We tend to get unproductive. So we need to stay grounded. I always suggest go outside and hug a tree. It's the best way to ground yourself. And I truly mean that when I say that. Go outside and hug a tree. It's truly nurturing. So you want to ground yourself. And when we look at the number, we have 14. 1 is for new beginnings. Again, you're creating something today. So it's a new beginning, new opportunity for you. The 4 is finding balance within what it is you are creating. And make that balance a part of your life, but do it in moderation. When we have the 1 and the 4, add them together, we have a 5. 5 is all about your freedom, all about having fun, all about creativity, all about change. What are you going to do to change so you can have freedom in your day? So let's think about that 5 energy of freedom, fun, creativity, change, and with all that, yes, some unpredictability, because that goes along with being free. What are you freeing yourself up? And how are you going to use that in moderation? And setting that intention to heal. Heal your heart center. Start doing things from your heart versus your mind, or combine them together. So that's your reading for today. That's your insight for today. So with that, we're going to go to a small commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Experience Feng Shui interior design for your home or office. Good Chi Feng Shui LLC can transform your home or workspace, no matter how large or small, into a harmonious, rejuvenated environment. Good Chi Feng Shui LLC. Call or email to schedule an appointment for a consultation today.
Welcome to Roslyn Salt Cave. Prepare yourself for a journey of ancient healing. As you settle in, notice you are surrounded by 6 tons of pure Himalayan salt. We hope you enjoyed your salt experience and that you leave feeling relaxed and stress-free. Thank you for taking time to salt yourself healthy.
Hello, and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. Well, as I mentioned earlier, I have amazing guests to share with you today. And I'm bringing to you today Stephanie Baptistis Butt from Roslyn Salt Cave. So here we have Stephanie. So nice to have you here to share your salt cave with us.
Thanks, it's so nice to be here.
Yes. So, big question. What inspired you to open up a salt cave?
So for me, I have allergies, I have asthma, I've had them my whole life, and later on in life, fairly recently, I developed skin issues. So I have eczema, psoriasis. No doctors really know which one it is. It's a combination of both. No one knows how to treat it. Nobody knew how to fix it. So I actually started to look into salt therapy just for my allergies and my asthma, and I was seeing results from my skin. So it was really helping my skin issues as well as helping my allergies and my asthma. So I, found it very difficult to travel far distances to go to the caves that were available to us. There was nothing close to where I lived, so I wanted to have a cave that was mine, that I could share this with. There were a lot of people, where we live that I knew of that had the same allergies, asthma, same issues, and could really benefit from salt therapy. And so, my husband conveniently is an architect, and
There it goes.
I harassed him for several years.
Nice.
And
Nice.
we got it done.
So now, based on the video that you that we just showed, is that actual salt
Yes.
or sand? Or
It's salt.
Is it salt? Wow.
So the floor is salt, it's ground salt, and it's coarse. It's not as fine as beach sand, but you're walking on salt, which over time with people walking on will get ground down to be a little bit finer. And the walls are made of pure Himalayan salt.
Nice.
The ceiling is not, but it's pretty.
So now, based on the room, I've seen there's chairs. So how many
Yes.
people go into the room at one time?
So typically we keep it at 12 chairs.
Okay.
And it can fit more, up to fit 15. But they're zero gravity chairs. They're very comfortable. You sit back, you relax, you have warm blankets, because the temperature inside the cave is 68 degrees, and that's held at that temperature to maintain the integrity of the salt. If it's too humid, too much moisture, because salt grabs moisture, and the salt will weep and get wet if the temperature inside the cave were too warm. And that's actually how the salt works inside your body. Because it absorbs moisture, it grabs, when you're inhaling the salt, it grabs any excess moisture, any excess mucus in your airways, and that's how it cleans it out. So your body will naturally expel it, and it will leave you with clear airways, and you'll be able to take more oxygen in and breathe better.
Nice.
So that will improve your immune system. It improves a lot of things. It's actually good for people, and you're a trainer. So in your capacity as a trainer, it's good, relieves muscle soreness.
Oh, nice.
And it also, breathing better will prevent injury. Because if you're not breathing properly,
Yes.
you're more prone to injury. And that's, So
Now, the average person, how many days a week would one want to have a salt session?
So that all depends on the severity of your condition, and everyone is different. So people will come in for one session and they can feel it instantly. Other people, takes a couple of sessions, but we do have a lot of members that come multiple times a week. Some of them will stay each time. They'll come 3 times a week, and every time they come, they will stay for 2 or 3 sessions back to back.
Oh, okay. How long is an actual session?
One session is 45 minutes.
So they'll stay for
They stay
almost
in
3
there.
hours?
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Now, in reference to hydration before and after, is it necessary to be hydrated before you go in and hydrated afterwards, or does it not matter?
No, it balances your hydration levels,
Okay.
but it's always good to stay hydrated, and the more hydrated you are, the better it is always for you. But it doesn't make you like thirsty. People will say, "Oh, I have to drink a lot of water now that I've been in the cave," but that's not necessarily
Is it more psychological?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think because they hear salt and they think, "Oh, I'm going to be thirsty," and people also with high blood pressure are concerned. They'll like, "Can I come into? Is it safe for me to breathe the salt?" And breathing salt and ingesting salt are completely different.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because obviously you're not going to be ingesting it anyway.
Correct.
You're just inhaling it in.
Unless you lick the walls, but don't do that.
Yeah.
People have asked, no, don't do that.
Exactly. So in reference to someone taking on a package, do you have packages specifically,
Yes.
or is it like day to day? How's your packages work?
So we have 6-month packages and 12-month packages. So it would be $179 a month or $199 a month.
Okay. Now, what is your reason for 6 months and 12 months and not anything less?
Well, we have a shorter one. We have for the seasonal allergies, like
Okay.
for the spring and the fall allergy, we have allergy packages. So
Okay.
for 3 weeks, $99, 3 weeks of unlimited salt sessions just to knock out the allergies, because now the spring is coming up and I see the trees are all full of buds, and I know what that means for a lot of people. The itchy eyes, the runny nose, like congestion, and so they could come and do the allergy. It's an allergy buster is what
Okay.
it's called.
Okay. And what other types of packages do you have? In
So-
reference to, like, you have your seasonal package, you have your 12 month, you have your 6 month. Do you have any other specific personalized packages?
So we have a 2-month package
2 months.
also that you could do 2 months of unlimited.
Excellent. And since I was at your soul cave, I've noticed you also have accessories there as well. So talk about a little bit about your accessories that you have.
So we carry different Himalayan salt products.
What is Himalayan salt products?
Himalayan salt products such as we have Himalayan soap salt bars, but so they're good for skin. What I do is I use the salt bars after my shower, and I keep that. So yeah, I like to keep it dry.
Okay.
Because if it's kept in the shower, it will dissipate faster. So I use it after the shower, and I just rub it on my skin because of the eczema and the psoriasis, and then you can put lotion on top of that. But that really keeps the flare-ups at bay for me. But it's just it's good for your skin, also just good for the pH levels in your skin, and it's very balancing for your skin.
Okay, very nice, very nice. I'm trying to see if I have any other questions in reference to regarding your storyline. What inspired you to want to open up the Soul Cave for specifically for you? Like most of us always have a backstory. Do you have a backstory?
So it just kind of fell into everything else that I was doing, separate from the job that I had, which was not in wellness at all.
Okay.
So, but just the need to distance myself from that and get into, I started doing Reiki and getting into the crystals and essential oils and the salt therapy, and the need for myself to heal myself holistically and get away from all the steroids and the drugs, and it just were not really working. So that's really my backstory, just seeking wellness that was easy and that worked, and it was complementary to medicine, because I do take a pill for my asthma still, because you have to, and
At least for now.
for now, but I don't, I'm not saying that the salt cures everything, but it will help.
It's an enhancement.
It relieves,
It's
right.
It's a supplement, so to
right.
speak.
It's a
Yes,
complement to
Yes.
whatever protocol you're using. I have been able to get off of my Advair inhaler,
Excellent.
but that's just me.
Yes.
I might not be for everyone else. So
Exactly.
I always tell people, check with your doctors. Always
Exactly.
let them know what you're doing. More and more physicians are becoming aware of salt therapy.
Exactly.
And they do know that it will work, in complement to what they're doing.
Of course, it's a lifestyle change.
Yes.
Yes. So definitely checking with your doctor.
Always.
And combining what the doctor has you doing with the holistic modalities,
Yes.
which is a major lifestyle change in my perspective.
Yes, it is.
So can you tell the viewers how they can contact you?
So the Roslyn Salt Cave is located at 17 Lumber Road in Roslyn. Phone number is 516-629-7089. We have a website, www.roslynsaltcave.com. There's a lot of information on that website about the services that we offer. An Instagram page, Facebook, all social media. So
Excellent, excellent. So again, this is yeah, sure. Stephanie from Rosalind Salt Cave, and she's here talking to you about her actual business of the Salt Cave. And I'd like to remind you that if you are interested in any healing services in addition to the Salt Cave, feel free to reach out to me at 646-236-9155. And we're going to go to a commercial break.
Hi there, my name is Sherry Simpson. I am a transformational life coach. I healed an autoimmune disease of the thyroid called Graves' disease, and I like to help people heal themselves now. I did this completely naturally using many methods, and I believe connecting into my spirituality really had a huge impact for me. So I like to help people get to the root cause of issues, and I do that by allowing you to tap into your higher self and by asking your subconscious and your higher self questions about what it is that you need to do to heal. So I look forward to connecting with you soon. Namaste.
Hello, and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. As I mentioned before, I have two amazing guests. But before we go to the second guest, I'd like to remind you again to call in and ask those questions that you need clarity for. The number again is 516-945-9099. What's on your mind? I have answers for. So, let's bring on our next guest, which is Natasha Nurse. So I'm excited to have you here more than you can even imagine.
Aw, thank you.
You have so much to share.
Yes.
And just very briefly, just let people know what it is you do, and then we're going to dive into some questions.
Absolutely. So yes, hello everyone. My name is Natasha Nurse. I am a lawyer by trade who has now found happiness and my own essential healing through media, through blogging, through modeling, through consulting, through coaching. Essentially, I wasn't happy and I made a switch. And my switch involved embracing social media, embracing my public speaking and my writing abilities, and also forming a podcast and being a podcaster. So really diving into different media outlets. I also have a radio show. I do essentially a lot, all under the umbrella of empowerment of women, and also just forcing people to recognize their points of unhappiness and deciding what they want to do about it.
Now, could you imagine me trying to say all that?
Yes.
That's a mouthful in itself, and I probably would not have remembered any of it. Not that I wouldn't want to, because what I would get out of all that is she's an empowering woman.
Aw,
is what I get out of all that.
Thank you.
And what intrigued me to bring you on to my show is the one question that I ask healers all the time, especially those who have 9-to-5 jobs, you know, and they're great healers. And as you mentioned, you're an attorney by trade.
Yes.
And you've stepped into your entrepreneur.
Yes.
You know, so when you took that step, were there any fears surfacing by walking away, we'll say walking away from the attorney field into your entrepreneur field? What fears were those? Share that?
Absolutely. So fear is a natural human feeling, right? It's a kind of a survival instinct. If we didn't have fear, we probably wouldn't survive in this world.
Oh, yes, definitely.
So yes, definitely. The idea of changing your identity, changing your career, it's very fearful kind of a process, but ultimately, I am the kind of person who would never allow fear to prevent me from moving forward, because essentially if you do, you're saying your fear is more valuable than you changing your life, than you figuring out something new about yourself. And that should never be the answer for anyone. So yes, it was scary, but ultimately being unhappier, like living an unhappy life, is scarier.
Oh, yes. And I actually believe that we should use our fear as our fuel.
Absolutely.
In fact, if I allow fear to take over, I would not have my own TV show, because in order to get here, I have to get on the parkways. And it was one of my biggest fears. But I do it because I've been here, so So, and like I said, with many healers, their biggest fear is not being able to be supported based on their passion.
Yeah.
So now, based on your passion, financially, do you feel supported?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a strong proponent of The Secret, right? And essentially, if you believe in the law of...
I love that.
Yeah. So if you believe in the law of attraction, there is endless opportunity. There are endless moments in life to make money, to grow, to brand, to expand yourself. So the idea that, like, is there enough is not the question that ever applies. It's more like, are you doing enough to access and tap into the endless opportunity that awaits you? And so more so, instead of wasting time about, can I get paid? Can I figure this out? Is, what am I doing today? What am I posting on social media? What networking event am I going to? How am I innovating within my business? What am I reading? What am I consuming? That's where you spend time and attention, not the what if I fail, because the flip side is what if you succeed?
Exactly.
Every single time.
Yes, and theoretically, my mantra is, as long as you tried, you never fail.
Yes.
Only time you fail is if you don't try.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, I don't actually believe in the concept of failure. Everything in life is a teachable lesson.
Yes.
Some lessons we like more than others, but nonetheless, you're going to learn. You're going to understand something, and you can use it, right? The difference between, I think Barbara Cochran from Shark Tank, she said, the difference between successful people and not successful people is when you fall down, how quickly you get back up, right?
Amen.
So we're always going to fall. That's life,
Yes.
right? My mother-in-law from Sisters on Fire, she has a saying that there's no good and bad, it's just contrast, right? Because you can't appreciate the light if you don't have the dark. You have to have difference in life. So that's why we have it, but it allows us to grow and to pivot. And I like to say, in uncomfortability, there's growth and glory.
Yes, and you just took the words right out of my mouth, because I was actually going to say that as once you were done speaking, in reference to whatever it is that we're doing, whatever our passion is, if it does not scare you, it is not big.
Yeah.
It has to scare you for it to be something big and purposeful.
Absolutely.
And we're here on this earth to live in our purpose.
Yes.
And in theory, when we think about our purpose is big.
Yes.
Because we're here to serve. And because our purpose is big and to serve, it has to be scary.
Yes, absolutely. It can't, if it's too easy, if it doesn't provoke kind of that fear and that then it's not pushing you enough. Your testimony in life is something that's bigger than you can even imagine.
Exactly.
So you have to walk into it each and every day. And even for our podcast, Woken Free, shout out to Woken Free.
There you go. That's what you're here for.
Yes.
Shout it out, girl.
Shameless plugs, guys.
Yes.
Ultimately, it was scarier venture for us because in essence, Dressing Room Mate, it's all about women empowerment, but Woken Free is a podcast started to be honest, right? And honesty is not something that everyone can appreciate. And ultimately, talking about whether there's a God, talking about our views on politics, all of that good stuff, may or may not sit well with people, but we wanted to do it because it's an important conversation.
Oh, yes.
And it's a scary conversation, but it's a needed one.
Yeah, but controversy is good.
Yes.
Because
yes.
to have a nice conversation with somebody and also be mindful that everyone's entitled to what they feel.
Yes.
I'm going to use the word, their opinion. They're entitled to it.
Yeah.
And as long as you're open to that debate, we're recognizing that, I'm not here to change your mind about something.
Yeah.
I'm here to enlighten you and awaken you.
Yes, yes.
You know, and you're doing the same, to enlighten and awaken. You're not here to convince somebody
Yeah.
of whatever it is you're doing and encouraging them to come on board to convince.
No, exactly. So the title Woke and Free essentially speaks to the idea of like, how do we get educated and how do we awaken ourselves
Yes.
to be open to different conversations. And if you agree with us, great. And if you don't, at least hear us out, because whenever we're discussing something, we want to be educated and entertained. So let's talk about the facts, not alternative facts or fake facts, actual facts.
Yes.
See what I did with that?
Yes.
And let's get to it, right?
Yes.
And have an open dialogue, because you could be Republican, you could be Democrat, you could be independent. Doesn't mean that we have to be so tribal that we can't have civil conversations, because that's exactly what's the problem in this country, and it needs to stop because it's breeding nastiness. And we're better than that. America's
yes.
better than that.
Oh, yes, yes. And also the whole concept of we're all here on Earth to move into our purpose.
Yes.
I believe we all have the same mission in mind. We might all be going through it, getting there differently.
Yeah.
But we all have the same mission. That mission is really to serve and live in purpose.
Yes, absolutely.
And I know for myself, I speak of like, okay, let's release the fears. Let's release the fears. But yes,
Yeah.
fears are powerful.
Yeah.
And without those fears don't help us change. Because when we do have a fear,
Yeah.
we learn how to change.
Yeah.
And that's what makes you so powerful, is because you stepped into that fear
Yeah.
of being an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
as opposed to living your day to day, getting your
Yeah.
weekly or bi-weekly, or however they do payments,
Yeah.
these days. But, getting into that place
Yeah.
and loving what you do.
Yeah.
Because I know you love what you do, because
Yes.
I hear it.
Thank
I
you.
see it.
Thank
and
you.
and you're empowering.
Thank you. Yeah.
So I mean, bringing you on the show is to encourage other women and men too. But primarily, women.
Shout out to women.
Yes,
Yeah.
is to encourage women to step into their power, to
Yes.
step into their passion,
Yes.
and
Yes.
not be fearful of whether or not they're going to survive.
Yes.
And make it out there.
It's because the question is not will I survive? It's how will I thrive? Right?
Yes.
And it's about trying something new. Do everything we do, is it going to work? No. But doing nothing, does that ever work? No.
No.
You have to try and you have to explore. And to me, the saddest thing is regret. The saddest thing is to live and say, I wish I had done this. I wish I was braver. How about instead of wishing, just actually live your true purpose and try things out? It's not the end of the world, because stagnant and doing the same and passionless, it's less than. We deserve more as women. We deserve more as people. So
Yes. Now, in reference to when you made that shift,
Yeah.
was there any question on, did you feel worthy enough to be doing what you were doing?
Ooh, yeah. So I feel like that wasn't an internal question, but it was definitely a question that I heard from family members or people in my circle that are no longer really in my circle.
Yes, because we do need to change our circle when we
Yes.
transform and live in purpose.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
part
absolutely.
of the process.
You have to. Oprah, I think, says you have to sometimes divorce
Yeah,
friends
yeah.
and family,
Yeah,
because
yes.
not everyone, just because you are on your purpose and you see the testimony for yourself, doesn't mean everyone else will, and nor should they. It's your life. You're not required to explain it to anyone.
Yes.
So essentially, I think a lot of people, when you try to be non-traditional, they say, well, what makes you an expert, or what makes you think you can do it? Well, guess what? Every expert was what? Someone who was not an expert, someone who had to learn and grow. So I think that, you can always be questioned. You can always have to kind of defend if you want to engage in those conversations. But I would rather just live my truth and continue to do what I do. And I know the work and the value that I bring to my clients, to the podcast, all of that good stuff. And so I just accepted that people aren't going to always be your champion, whether they're related to you or not. And you have to decide, what do you want? For me, I would rather not spend time defending my life, and I would just rather live it.
Makes sense. Now, in reference to living your life and doing what you do you have what we call a cheerleading group, where they support you, they lead you on, they cheer you on?
That's a good question. So I would say not really. I really spend a lot of time working, and so whatever free time I have, few amount of people I speak to, and that's primarily just my husband and just select family members. And my husband's my best friend. We've been together since we were 18. It's going to be 16 years together.
Nice.
In September.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And in April, 6 years of marriage. And he's my rock and my heart and my soul, and he's my best friend. And I know people, oh, he's my best. Like, he literally is my best friend.
Yes.
And that I feel like I could have 20 people or I could have him. He's my biggest champion. If I ever have a moment of weakness, he stops me right there. Like, you can do everything. I remember when I was studying for the bar exam and I was, oh God, Khalil, can I do this? He was like, you've already passed. We're just working into it, right? He's the first person to snap me into not allowing me to think and live less than what I deserve. So I don't have like a champion crew, but I have the love of my life who makes me excited to wake up every single day. So to me, that's more than enough.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, in reference to those out there who, again, are healers in their 9 to 5,
Yeah.
and they don't have that support. You
Yeah.
know, they don't have that partner, and let's say they do have a partner, but that partner's not supporting them in that way because
Yeah.
their partner's used to them being in their 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Or they're not in a relationship, and their family members are just used to them in their 9 to 5.
Yeah.
What advice would you give them in reference to being able to literally shut out the negative talk from others? What advice would you give?
Absolutely. So you have to 100% dive into consuming content that will give you your imaginary cheerleading squad. So what does that mean? What motivates you? For me, I'm motivated by like ministry kind of work. So I love Joyce Meyer. I love Stephen Furtick. I try to watch a video of them every single day and consume that content. I also love reading. It's like my safe haven. So I'm constantly reading. You have to kind of figure out what makes you happy, what makes you motivated, and spend X amount of time consuming that and taking that in so that you're not, spending more time with the negative talk and the doubters. Because for every day you live, there will always be someone to tell you you can't do something. Always someone to criticize why you decide to do something. You do not have time on this planet to entertain those conversations. You really don't. Life is way too short. So consume positivity, network, right? If you don't have those people in your life, if you don't have a supportive spouse and you feel like, you know what, I need a crew of people helping me, well, what are you doing? Are you tapping into Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups? What are you doing to build that tribe of supporters and like-minded individuals? Because there's a lot of healers and entrepreneurs who are happy to check in with you and, hey girl, what are you doing? I'm doing this challenge this week, right? But you have to find it. You can't sit in life and be like, oh, no one loves me, no one's helping me.
You can, but
you
it's not going to work
but
for you.
yeah, the victim is never, the victim it's a mental state,
Yes.
it's not a reality. No
Yes.
one's a victim unless you choose to be
Yes,
a victim.
yes, yes.
So you have to decide, what do you want? If you want, I don't need a lot of people to be like, yay, but if you are that person, then find it and make it happen and stop talking about trying to do it. Just do.
You heard it. You have that choice. You have two choices.
Yeah.
You have the choice to either become an entrepreneur and live in your purpose, or sit back and stay in your 9 to 5 and be miserable.
Or do both, right? Like,
Or
so
do
I'm,
both, yes.
I mean, yeah, I'm a fan personally. I know there are different streams of thought. I'm a fan of funding the dream. I think that a lot of times people do need to kind of walk a little bit slower instead of just unless you're independently wealthy.
Yes. Yes.
If that's not you, then cool. Damon John, when he started Fubu, he worked at Red Lobster for 6 years.
Okay.
Right? Like,
Yes.
so cheese biscuits were cool. It's all good.
Yes.
If you want to walk in, you have to define entrepreneurship for yourself. Everyone has to figure that
Exactly.
out, especially financially, because you have responsibilities and you don't want to put yourself in a strapped position where you don't feel like you can even thrive in either situation.
Exactly.
So figure out what works for you, but do it. And be hungry, right? And be resourceful. A lot of people, the number one thing I'm asking people to stop saying this year is, I don't know. Have you met Google.com? Because any question you have is on Google.com.
Yes.
Cut the crap.
Yes.
Like, cut it.
There you go. There you have it. So, Natasha, how can the viewers reach you?
Yeah, so I'd love for everyone to go to wokenfree.com. That is no, I just spelled it wrong. WOKENFREE.com. Woke, the letter N, free.com. It's the podcast. You can subscribe to it via email, which would be great because what happens is then you get an update via email to see when our next episodes are. Happily find us on social media, Woke and Free, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and just holler and let us know because we'd love to, if you're looking to be a guest on the show, if you're looking to just connect, have tips, have breaking news, all of that, wokeandfree.com.
All right, that's awesome.
Thank you.
I'm so grateful that you were here and you shared and you're empowering and
You're so sweet.
powerful. So
Thank you.
we're going to be going to a break and coming back to do our intuitive chakra balance numerology forecast reading for both our guests. And again, anyone who has something on their mind and would like an answer to, feel free to to call in. Again, I'll mention that number, which is 516-945-9099. See you shortly.
Experience Feng Shui interior design for your home or office. Good Chi Feng Shui LLC can transform your home or workspace, no matter how large or small, into a harmonious, rejuvenated environment. Good Chi Feng Shui LLC. Call or email to schedule an appointment for a consultation today.
Welcome to Roslyn Salt Cave. Prepare yourself for a journey of ancient healing. As you settle in, notice you are surrounded by 6 tons of pure Himalayan salt. We hope you enjoyed your salt experience and that you leave feeling relaxed and stress-free. Thank you for taking time to salt yourself healthy.
Hi there, my name is Sherry Simpson. I am a transformational life coach. I healed an autoimmune disease of the thyroid called Graves' disease, and I like to help people heal themselves now. I did this completely naturally using many methods, and I believe connecting into my spirituality really had a huge impact for me. So I like to help people get to the root cause of issues, and I do that by allowing you to tap into your higher self and by asking your subconscious and your higher self questions about what it is that you need to do to heal. So I look forward to connecting with you soon. Namaste.
Hello, and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. As I said, now we're going to do an intuitive chakra balance numerology forecast reading. And what that actually just means is that it's going to combine chakras, numerology, and a mantra. And what I like to say is, what is on your mind? We all have things that sit in the back of our minds that we want answers to. And sometimes we'll sit in prayer and ask the questions, or sometimes we'll ask our friends answers. But I've always found that doing an intuitive reading is really the best way of going about it, because it's intuitive. So when I pull the cards out, I'm not actually using my logic for the answer. I'm going deep into my spiritual perspective and getting the guidance from my higher power. And when I say my higher power, that is my angels. I always call my mom on to give me guidance. And then I also call on God to help me with the insight that the cards are going to give. So we're going to start off with Natasha. What question do you want clarity on? What is on your mind today?
That's such an intimate question. I love it because it's creating uncomfortability.
Well, and that's what this show is all about. Growth, uncomfortability. How uncomfortable can we get right now?
Yes! Oh, good God, that's
Go
amazing.
for it. Wow, we are growing.
Yeah. All right. I'll set the stage.
Let's
Okay.
do it.
When will I be able to add an addition to my home? I want to make some changes at my house, and I want to know, when is that happening?
Okay, so when we say add an addition to your home, what are we speaking about?
So changing up the structure. We bought our starter home about 6 years ago, and now me and my co-host of Woke and Free is I feel like we are a little bit outgrowing our space, and we want to make changes. And I personally want to know, when is this happening?
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's see if
that wasn't so bad,
intuitively, and I wanted to scratch the word "if" out of there. What intuitively we're going to get for Natasha's answer? What does she need to hear regarding that answer? And let's see what's popping in. All right, there we go. I'm going to take this card right about here.
Okay.
And let's see what we have. Oh, wow.
Uh-oh.
Rebirth.
Oh, interesting.
There's a rebirth taking place here.
Okay.
Okay? And anytime I hear the word rebirth, it's almost like you actually are going to, okay, again, let's get a better word here. I'm going to use the word die. It's like you're both dying to be resurfaced and retransforming
Okay.
into a higher version of both of you.
Uh-huh.
Okay? And starting off something new. You know, so in reference to when, because that was basically the question,
Yeah,
the when.
when,
What
yeah.
I hear in reference to when, I think the when is really trusting the process, because one of the things
Okay.
about time with the universe is trusting. We don't ask how and we never ask when.
Oh, interesting.
Two
I
things-
didn't know that.
It's okay. It's okay, and that's why you asked the question.
Yeah.
You know, which is okay, because we have to trust the process. And I believe that on an intuitive base, the two of you are already working towards that already.
Okay.
It's just now a matter of the two of you sitting down together to talk about what's the next step so that can happen for you. Okay? And when we
Okay.
look at the blue is the throat. So
Okay.
communicating.
Yeah. Okay.
Communicating to each other what it is you both want. And, you know, what's involved with it.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot involved.
Yeah.
Okay? We have the orange again, and we had orange from the first card as well, which is your creativity. How the two of you are going to create this rebirth,
Okay.
this transformation, this new beginning for both of you.
Yeah.
And staying grounded. Because it's going to get a little sticky. You know, as we keep saying, this, you know, uncomfortability. It's
Yeah.
going to get a little uncomfortable
Yeah.
because it's something that's going to be, you know, of change. Although I have a feeling both of you are very good with change. It doesn't
Yeah.
make you crazy,
Yeah.
you know. And then when we look at the number, which is 16, the 1 is all about new beginnings.
Okay.
And the 6 is about healing. So by making this change, it's actually going to heal the two of you on a much deeper level. I don't know if the two of you can get any deeper than you already are. So but, okay, all right. But yeah, so it's going to heal the two of you on a much deeper level, okay?
Okay.
And when we take the number, it's a 7.
Interesting.
and
That's
s-
my favorite number.
And 7 is all about really going within
Yeah.
and sitting quietly with yourself. And perhaps even like, do the two of you meditate together?
No, we don't.
Okay, perhaps you and I and hubby are going to sit down one day and I'm going to teach the two of you how to do what we call a chakra balance partnership meditation.
Interesting.
And it's very powerful because then, I mean, yes, the two of you are very connected, but by
Yeah.
doing that, it's going to connect you even more
Wow.
on a much higher level.
Okay.
You know, because like I said before, I don't know how much more deeper the two of you can go, but whatever it is, it's going there. So that's the 7 energy. So again, the
Wow.
rebirth is yes, there's definitely going to be a change going on in the
Okay.
home and a rebirth, a transformation.
That's
you know, both of
exciting.
you are going to see each other in a different eye view
Okay.
on a much different level. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
All
Trust
right.
the process. Okay.
Trust the process. All right, Stephanie.
Now you're up.
What's your question, my love?
So, hard to ask, but I'm working on something,
Okay.
and I just want to know that the path that I'm on is correct, and the direction that I'm going in is where I should be going.
Okay. So Stephanie would like to know if she's on the right path and is she going to see light? Since I added that in, does that work
Yes.
for you? Because that's what I was sort of getting intuitively. Is she going to see light
Yes.
on the path that she's in?
Yes.
Is she going to see light? Is she on the right path and is she going to see light?
I think by asking the question, you know the answer.
Yes.
But-
Well, I always believe that when we ask the question, we already know the answer.
Yeah.
We're just looking for extra guidance and confirmation.
Yeah.
So,
Validation.
yes.
All that good stuff.
yeah, so I'm going to go in,
Oh wow.
and here we have it. Synchronicity. Synchronicity. Yes, yes, synchronicity. Before we go with the definition, we're going to go with the color, purple.
Purple.
Purple is connecting with your crown,
Crown.
connecting on a higher level, sitting in meditation and visualizing what your outcome needs to look like for you, what you want your situation to unfold as. Because we all have the power to create what it is we truly want. We just have to remind ourselves that we have to step out of our own head, step out of the negativity,
Yeah.
and whatever your vision is, That's what you have to stay focused on. And it's a tough job to do because it's very easy when you're not seeing what you want to take place to fall into that, oh, it's not going to happen, or I don't deserve that, or it's too big of a dream, not for me. Oh, and it's very easy to do that. So you have to sit with your higher self, and you have to allow yourself every single day, and I truly mean this, every single day, about 10 minutes, 15 minutes of visualization of what it is you want, and allow yourself to really see it, and allow yourself to not just see it, but feel it and be it. And that's really the key. Otherwise, you're just going to have all that negative self-talk. And depending on how long the process may take, you have to stay very positive and grounded. And there was a little darkness, little brown in there. So again, staying grounded. And then we have pink. Pink is all about self-healing. So through what you are going through your journey, developing a practice so you can have self-healing. You know, now I have an advantage because I work with Stephanie a little bit on healing, so I know what the story is. So you definitely want to have a practice of self-healing, getting in your salt cave and healing, doing things that fill your heart up with lots of love. Because what the process is that you're going to have those moments where you're going to feel like you've been beaten up. And you want to stay powerful, and you want to be empowered. And at the end of this, at the end of your journey, you're going to have such an inspiring story to share with others that you're going to have to be strong enough. So that self-love is important.
Okay.
And then also on the outer layer, we have we have pink as well. So it's really about, that self-care, loving you no matter what you're going through at this point, and really nurturing yourself for that. And then we look at the numbers, 8 and 7. So we have 8, which is all about abundance, which I believe we spoke about before, which is your personal energy for the year. So it's so beautiful that this is a year for you to live in abundance. So the journey you're on, even though, yes, it may seem dark, but it's dark for a reason. Because in order for us to live in full abundance, we must, as we were just saying earlier with Natasha, we must go through our darkness.
Yeah.
We do not get light without darkness.
Right.
And every one of us have to experience darkness to get to our light. And that darkness is what makes us really strong on every level, emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually, to get us to where we need to go. And then we have our 7, which I think we had a 7 before with Natasha. See how the numbers just connect? It's always so perfect.
Synchronicity.
Yeah,
yes,
that's
yes.
so interesting.
So when we have our 7, it's again going within. And evaluating the situation, but rather than evaluating in reference to all the things that's just negative about it, start evaluating in reference to how you can transform from this and the positive side of what's going on, and how you see yourself at the end where the light is, and feeling really empowered and inspiring and uplifting and motivated to know that, wow, once this journey is done and I move into where I want to be, what am I going to do with this? How is this going to make me different than I already am? And that's really the big question. When you take the 2 numbers together, you got a 15, which is a 6. And again, I think we had that before. The 6 is all about healing. So this is obviously a healing day. Okay? Healing yourself. Okay? Healing yourself through this whole process of whatever you're feeling low energy about. Because with the darkness, we do experience low energy. It's part of the process. And the low energy, it helps us to raise our vibration. And as you raise our vibration, we start to feel higher vibration, and we feel better and stronger. So working on healing oneself, so you can have your 7. This word always gets me. How do we say it, darling?
Synchronicity.
Thank you. Always gets me. Anytime I get this card, I'm like, why? But yes, so healing yourself so everything can fall into place for you. And again, just visualizing your outcome. Staying focused on your bigger picture. Staying focused on where this bigger picture is going to take you, and how that's going to change your entire life, mind, body, and spirit, and emotionally. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions? Did it answer your question?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So we haven't had any callers yet inquiring about what's on their mind. So I think what I'm going to do, just for one more shuffle, is I'm just going to do a what's on your mind for all the viewers who are afraid to call. Because I know you're sitting at the edge of your chair saying, oh, I have a question, I have a question, I have a question, but I'm afraid to call. So this is for all your viewers. Because you're sitting at the edge of your seat saying, I should call and ask, but I'm afraid. So this is for all of you. And here's the card. What's on your mind, whatever it is? Parenting. Parenting.
Oh, wow.
Parenting. Parenting is on your mind. And when we use the word parenting, anytime I get this card, I always laugh because I'm like, parenting? But parenting could be in so many formats, from parenting a child to parenting yourself. And what I'm getting intuitively is, how are you parenting your inner child?
Oh, interesting.
That's what I'm getting. How are you parenting your inner child? You know, how often do you sit with your inner child? How often do you sit in the mirror and talk to your inner child that needs healing? Because of all of us, we all have an inner child who needs healing. And that's the message I get here, is parenting your inner child. Start tapping into that inner child and helping your inner child to heal. The number here is 6 and 3. We already know what the 6 is. It's all about healing. The 3 is communication. Communicate with your inner child. Start talking to that inner child. Bring that inner child out and talk. The blue, again, is all about communication and keeping yourself grounded. Yellow, solar plex, which is your gut intuition. Trusting and then feeling safe by bringing out your inner child and letting that inner child feel safe. So that's the message for all of you sitting at the edge of your chair, wanting to call, and we're too afraid to do just that. So I want to give a quick reminder again for those of you who are interested in any of my services, whether it's personal training, a healing treatment, or even a card reading. You can reach out to me at 646-236-9155. And also, I always have opportunities for you to come on and be a guest, whether it's a guest as a healer or someone who's interested in receiving healing. Send your bio and your story to my email address, which is healingwithin34@aol.com. And that's it for today. I hope that you enjoyed the show. Like and share, and looking forward to connecting with each and every one of you next Sunday at the same time, 3 p.m. Again, thank you so much, Natasha and Stephanie, for sharing your story and for being here and sharing your questions and the insightfulness. And that's it for today. Thank you.